Wonderful. The brilliant and much-loved comedy duo Laurel and Hardy, and Stan's daughter Lois joins us this morning. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. I, as a child, always felt incredibly affectionate towards your father, towards Stan Laurel. There was something about him, on the screen that made you just love him. You want to sort of...
and feel sorry for him.
And feel sorry for him. Was he a lovable father? Was he a lovable man?
Oh, yes.
Was he?
Very much so.
Good. So no disappointments there, then? I mean, he really was as nice as he appeared.
Wonderful father.
What did he... I mean, lots of funny men are actually quite serious men underneath, people who are professionally funny. Was he a funny father to have around? Was he witty? Did he make you laugh?
Oh, yes, and my school chums as well.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he didn't feel he had to be funny every minute, like some comedians that we have in America.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of serious moments, especially because he did a lot of the writing.
Yes, I think you said that. I mean, his partner, Ollie, used to go down and play golf while your father was hacking away on the scripts and going into the editing room. And he actually had a lot of control, didn't he, over what they did and the way it appeared.
It all evolved from things he would put down, and then that writers would add to it, and sometimes they would change it many, many times.
Yeah.
Something you can be proud of now, but I think you said that when you were very little, before you sort of became really aware, you were a bit embarrassed about the fact that it was your dad that was always sort of looking a bit dim and scratching his head and crying and all the rest of it.
Well, my school chums would say, "Is your father really that stupid?" And I'd say, "No."
We've done a little take here. Now, this is very old. This is your own home movies.
Yes.
When was this taken?
This was on the Hal Roach Ranch lot on location, and they were doing a circus picture.
And that's you?
That's
in
right.
Cart.
And we went to visit, and it was a bit rainy that day.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yes.
You have that as a separate memory, not just on the not
No,
on the home
I was
video.
old enough to remember that. Playing with the monkeys, mainly.
Yeah.
Were they good friends? Did Ollie come round to your house a lot?
Yes, quite often, mainly holiday times. But, they were so busy when they were working. It was a long day.
Yeah.
But on weekends, Oliver Hardy would come along with us on our boat, and because he didn't have a boat. He had a swimming pool, though.
Yeah.
So then we would go around to his house and use their swimming pool.
I mean, speaking to sort of our generation, I mean, when I first watched them on a Saturday morning, and, they used to run their films on a Saturday morning, they had both already died by then. And they were legends at that time. When you were growing up and as you became a young woman, were you conscious that your father was a living legend, that he was something...
No, not then, really. That came, much later.
He was just a comedian who had a...
He went to work every day. He didn't carry a lunch pail, but he went to work every day.
Here we see Stan, he's much older, because you're there on
No,
the tape.
I was married there, and that's my daughter, Laurel, and Mr. Murphy, our dog, and my father.
He looks exactly like my Uncle Arthur. He does, actually.
And that's my stepmother, Ida Laurel.
Yeah.
It looks... I mean, it's hard to form images from films like that, but he looks like he was consciously a very family man, very family-oriented.
Oh, yes,
he made time for the family, didn't he?
Very definitely did.
Yeah. And even though you were the child of his first marriage, and he went on to have 4 marriages in total, I mean, you never really lost touch? You kept
Oh, no, I spent weekends with him.
Did you?
And I was very fond of all but one of my stepmothers. Fortunately, that marriage didn't last very long. So there was a little problem at that time, but after that, as I say, I almost spent every weekend
What
with
do you think women found attractive in your father? His sense of humor?
Yes, and he was so kind and thoughtful. And
it seems such a shame that his marriages broke up in that case, if he was such a family man and everything. I mean, what do you think went wrong? Was he a little bit insecure?
No, I think perhaps maybe the women just got a little tired of the career, maybe.
Oh, really? Now, was he a perfectionist? Was he a real workaholic?
Yes, definitely.
And so they felt they kind of played second fiddle.
Yes.
To his career.
The writers would come over after dinner, and I can remember the terrible stench of cigar smoke coming from the den before I'd go to bed.
Yeah.
And they'd work late into the evening, and then so my mother would just, be busy in writing letters or whatever. So she was on her own a lot.
There's some film of them in later life here. Again, another home video. I don't know who took this, but is it true that you're... I mean, I've read this in the past.
This was a young man that shot this by the name of Andy Wade, and unfortunately, when he died, the films were fell into someone else's hands.
But look at Ollie, he'd lost.
That was quite just before he died.
I see.
And unfortunately, those films appeared on the pirating system, and
they got no money.
Oh, it wasn't that.
Yeah.
I just think it's sad that the public could see it, but the public did want to see, the last what they looked like in their last days. Of course, that my father had a good 10, 15 years after Ollie died.
To live, yes. Is it true that actually in the end, despite his extraordinary fame, your father died more or less penniless? That he was
no.
Because I've read that many times.
Oh yes, you've read that. But, but you know, as you know, you don't believe everything you read.
So it's not true.
No. It's been printed, and of course, been picked up by other books and newspapers and so forth. No. He did have a very good business manager, and so they both had trust funds, and they didn't want for anything.
You must have had to put up with endless rumours about. I mean, there was a rumour that Stan and Ollie actually really hated each other.
That's right.
Wasn't there?
I think they got that confused with a couple of other American comedians who didn't get along.
Yeah.
What, Abbott and Costello?
Yes, you said it. I didn't.
Right, I asked it.
And the other one, of course, is mad rumour. I assume it's a mad rumour that Clint Eastwood was actually your father's illegitimate son.
Well, this is very funny because when we were living here in 80 and 81, or when I was here in 80, 81, when we married, my husband just ran into Clint Eastwood, and he approached him just a couple of months ago, and he said, do you know how this rumor started? And he said, yes. At the end of some spaghetti westerns in Italy, a newspaper printed a picture of Clint Eastwood and Stan Laurel and said, isn't there a strong resemblance?
Because Clint was scratching his head, wasn't it? That was the picture.
And then another, well, I didn't see the picture. Then another paper picked it up and went a little further. And then it ended up as one of the questions in a Trivial Pursuit game here in London, or in England. And it said, you know, who is the son of Stan Laurel? And supposedly that was put in as a copyright thing, so that if anybody wrote a book on questions for Trivial Pursuit, it was so definitely wrong. And so Clint was telling Tony, he said, my mother was horrified, he said. And with that, he said, but I thought it was rather funny. And with that, he scratched his head and the whole room broke up.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, it's lovely. Well, it's nice to meet you, Lois. You're here, aren't you, for the big Palladium Variety Show, the Royal Variety Show on Monday?
Oh, yes, I'm so excited and nervous. Never been to anything quite so posh.
So, you know, it makes you wonder, doesn't it, just quite how much longer they will continue to be world famous. I mean, if we could be having conversations with people like us, you know, your great-granddaughter, in 150 years' time, you know? I mean, because they're there on tape now, they can be shown and shown again.
My daughter one Christmas said, you know, she really realized, isn't it wonderful that we can have Grandpa with us all